Hello, my beautiful community. I come to you today without a script, just for the purpose of being with you. It's been a long time since I've posted, and I wish to address that with you. First of all, happy, wonderful, amazing New Year. I know it's intense. I know we're having a little breath here in this January, and that is exactly what this January is meant to be. A time to go within and be a little more silent rather than pushing and leaping into the big new year as we usually do. This is a time to reflect within and heal and strengthen our bodies, our minds, our resolve for ourselves to be the light, to be our high selves. So if you're pushing yourself this month, maybe take a breath, and especially on this day, today's a new full moon, the first full moon of the new year. And so the energies can be a little intense around full moons. You'll probably feel more emotions, a lot coming up. So just take a moment to go within, and I'd like to invite you to create a daily practice in which, let's call it, you can call it whatever you want to, but for right now I'm going to call it be okay, to be okay. Because we are constantly barraged with fear-based information these days. There's so much of it. And then we're backed up with evidence of why this even could be true. We've come to be so imprinted upon that at this point, our subconscious minds are very likely to believe that just about anything is possible. We're all being stretched. And so I want to invite you to, inside of that notion, anything is possible. And inside of that notion, it is possible that all of this deliver us into the new earth, into a new golden age, into heaven on earth, into peace, into joy, into fifth dimension, into a high frequency state of living. And what that transition looks like exactly, I don't know. And of all of my spiritual seers around the world who I have inquired with, they don't know either. But we are clearly on the path towards that. Now, the path leads through a pretty dark jungle. And that's where we are now. There's evidence of it all around. It's pretty intense. The work of this time is to hold the light, be the light, shine the light. And it's a process. We don't all wake up every morning feeling the light. So create time every single day for three things. One, nourish your body, strengthen your body, get in the sun, do yoga, meditate, breathe. These practices, there's so much support for this online right now. Two, make high frequency choices all day long. Is this the food that raises my energy? Is this the media? Is this the YouTube channel, the TV, the movie that raises my frequency? Or does it entrain me to holding more space within my psyche and my subconscious for a dystopian world? And if the answer to that, to any degree, is yes, then you switch channels immediately. It is so, so, so important. The third thing is to create time to raise your own frequency. Create that time to be okay, to be the light, to arrive at that place where you actually have the emotional experience of stepping into that heaven on earth. Because as prominent as all of the negativity is and the things that cause you fear right now, the light is equally there, and the light is always stronger than the dark. This time we get to choose. This is the time that we choose which side of that we're on. So choose the future that you want. Practice that, be it. Do not entertain anything other than that. It's big work. This is when the healers all step onto the front line and hold the fence for everyone. And the students and the meditators, the practitioners, the yogis, become the teachers now. Become the leaders. It's great. This is the moment that we've been working for. I'd like to share with you why I have not been so present with you. It's not in any way that I have forgotten you or walked away. It's not that that I've slipped into any kind of despair or despondency by any means whatsoever. It's that I'm taking time to build out a platform by which we can all come together more powerfully. My path, and I'll share with you very transparently here, was that 7 years ago, as I declared that I would be a great healer and that I would touch the hearts and minds of tens of thousands during my time here on earth. The more I declared that, the more my life fell apart. The more I lost everything material that I had worked for and loved so much, the more that I lost access to material abundance and money, security of any kind whatsoever. And as that fell away, I simply watched, and I kept believing in what it was I was asking for, which was to be a true healer. Not a self-proclaimed healer or a book-studied healer, but the healer that I had been nurturing within my heart for decades through a lifetime of daily meditation and study and devotion. And as things started falling away, I started holding on and picking up that which was truly important to me. These harps, of course. The paintings that you see behind me became very important to me. This necklace that you always see me wearing, that's pretty much it. That's what I held on to. There's a collection of crystal bowls that came into my life over those seven years. And it took a lot for me to acquire those, as they're quite expensive. But that's basically what I have in this world. I know that when you see me online, it always looks very opulent and very rich. And I know that the things that I sell and share in this world are very expensive. And so it seems to be this very opulent life. But the truth of it is, I walked this earth, moving from city to city and country to country and studio to studio and ashram and monastery to ashram and Buddhist monastery with little more than these instruments and the clothes that I could tuck in around them. At the end of that journey, I landed with more instruments than I'd left with. The instruments took up so much room in my luggage that there was enough room for 2 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, and very little else. The simplicity of this life gave me a backbone. It gave me a strength, and it gave me faith that I am here to share with you as everything, as the structures that we have lived within for our lives so far, begin to visibly crumble around us and create a lot of fear over what happens if the financial structures fail as they are, and if we lose our stability, and what if we lose our home? What if we lose the things that give us comfort? I am here to say that you are more than fine. And I don't wish that on anyone who doesn't rightfully give it to the universe to do with what they will. But it may be that the collective consciousness of humanity is choosing now to have less, so that we together as a whole, as unity consciousness, can have more, can have enough, so that everyone has enough, and the earth has enough to replenish itself and its nature. It could be. And so I'm here to say that if part of what you fear is the fear of having less, you have one thing that can never be taken from you, and that is inner access to joy, to love, to your high self, your guides. You have yourself. You have the soul that inhabits this body and this lifetime. And that is a miraculous gift. And if we can all see the ultimate abundance in that, we will all be okay during whatever transpires. You know, I'm going to deepen the subject right now. There's been times in my sound healing broadcasts when I would speak from the perspective of the soul. And it's a big perspective, because the perspective of the soul, and this is the one that I've always lived from, is that I'm a soul taking a ride in this human body, and I've been a soul for a long time before that, and I will return to being a soul after that. And inside of that perspective, there's very little on this earth that can happen that can really damage the soul. The soul chose to be here right now. I'm here by choice. You're here by choice. You chose it. No matter how dystopian things look out there, we chose to be here, and we chose to be here for a purpose. And if we rise to that purpose right now, that purpose of letting go of fear and being the full expression of our high selves, we evolve our soul. We don't come here and then leave and say, oh man, I missed it. I didn't get it. I didn't do everything I went to do. That is the work of this life. And sometimes it's upset a student or two that I take the process of leaving the physical body in flow. There's been upset that, how could you revere death as something that's okay? Well, for one of us, none of us are getting out of here alive. For starts, that's what I meant to say. For one, we all pass through that veil. And so why allow it to be something that hovers over our head as fear this entire life? The fear of that is being waved in front of us, and very often I see it for the purpose of manipulating us into believing one way or another. And I want to invite you to believe what it is in your heart. And on that note, there's a lot of notes these days, a lot of corners, a lot of fences to stand on the side of, and that's the point that I'm going into next. We have been divided. If you've been studying with me for years, decades, then you know that I beat the drum of the way that we are constantly being divided. And I want to say that my camera's opposite today, and I don't know which end. My phone is the opposite of what it usually is, and I can't figure out which end the camera's at, so forgive my eyes for looking all over the place. I'm with you in my heart. That's what matters. We are being divided, and divided again, and divided again. And that is not why we came. We came to discover unity. We are here for unity. Unity consciousness is the one thing that will move us through this period of discordance and into the new earth, the new golden age, heaven on earth, oneness. If you are standing on one side of any of the many topics of the day and pointing the finger at the other side, then you are not one with love and the unity consciousness, humanity. No matter what side we're on and what we have chosen for ourselves in our hearts, the only way that we make it through this alive, intact, and as love is by bringing us all together. And so wherever you stand on the fence and love everyone on either side of that fence. This is not about convincing others to be on your side. This is not about winning a battle. This is about being the love that overcomes the instinct to battle. And sure, we can take our love to the front lines and call that the battle if you want. I want to part today with something that I have observed in one of the people that I go to when I need to be lifted and I need to be healed. And what that is, this wonderful woman who, if I call her with any kind of fear, or maybe the facts, maybe I read the facts or somebody sent me the facts and I know what happened. And I'm beating the drum of that. And I call her and I say, but this happened and he said this and she said that and these are the numbers and these are the statistics and this is happening. And she says, Shelley, would you like to do a meditation right now to transmute all of that fear into something useful? What do you say to that? You say, yes, I would. And we do that meditation together, and I come out the other side thinking, wow, who was I being? I was being the fear. I was being the vibrational frequency of fear. And I was choosing a side. And where she delivers me, and where I am here to deliver you, and where all healers who are standing that front line right now will deliver you, is back to that place of being a soul that chose to be here for the purpose of bringing love and joy and unity, not separation and not fear. And inside of that, we raise our frequency. We walk in the sun. We open our hearts. As is common with me, the reason that I walk through this life with so little other than these few things that I have, is I tend to do my promotional work last. So, yes, there is a harp training coming up. It begins February 12th. If you would like to join that training, there is very little time if you're a new student and you need to find a harp for yourself. There's very little time to purchase that harp, and some of them still have to be made depending on what you order. So if you're looking for that, go to my website right now, ShellyReef.com, and have a look at the facilitators course. What the facilitators course is, where I teach you how to lead a guided meditation for up to an hour, holding space in presence with your harp, how to play, how to stay engaged, how to be engaging, how to lead people safely in to that deep, deep place where they open their heart, expand their minds, go into the expansiveness of the universe, and then how to reel them back in every single time. We don't leave stragglers out there. How to bring them back in and leave them whole and full and rich. That is the nature of this training. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening here today. And just know that my silence as of recent is because I am so busy building out an online platform by which we can all come together, building community so that we can all be strong together. And if you need me in the meantime, I'm always available for privates. And of course, I'm very grateful for private sound healings, which I can do in person or online. Empathic readings, which I can do in person or online. I am very grateful for this work, as that is all right now, for this moment, that allows me to have a humble roof over my head. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you so. Go be the light. Many, many sincerest blessings. And have a wonderful new year.